Greetings. The South Carolina National Guard offers a health and wellness program that's available to service members, family members, retirees, and veterans. We have 7 coaches across the state that are available to help you start on your way to a healthy lifestyle. We offer a variety of resources to include individual and group workouts. We can meet you at a local park, gym, or armory to have an initial assessment to see what your status is. And then we can put together an initial plan for you to use. We also have a free app called Train Heroic that can be used to guide through your workouts. So join us today as we review the ACFT. Listen for proper form, techniques, and recommendations for exercise to help you prepare for the new fitness test. So here we go. Let's start with preparatory drills. In formation, you have a chance to go through 10 exercises to prepare your muscles and your body for the ACFT. The preparatory exercises, we're not going to demonstrate those today, but they are traditional exercises that the Army uses. So here's the list of them though. It's called the bend and reach, the rear lunge, the high jumper, the rower, the squat bender, the windmill, the forward lunge, the prone row, the bent leg body twist, and of course the push-up. After you do this exercise, you'll move over to the first of 6 ACFT events, which is the 3 repetition max deadlift.
Event 1 is the 3 repetition maximum deadlift. This is to test your strength and balance and flexibility. This test is designed to, in the field, be used as picking up heavy weight off the ground or in event of a casualty being able to pick up that person. The deadlift is a very simple exercise to do, but it can be complex. You want to think of the deadlift more as a squat and less as a deadlift with a straight bar. Because it is a hex bar, you have to squat down to grab the handles because they will be beside you, and then stand up with it versus bending over to grab a bar. So the coach Matthew will then pick it up. He's going to squat down to the bar with the big things that I'm looking for as a coach is that his chest is up and elevated above his hips, and that his butt is down, chest up, and his back is flat. What he's going to do now is just stand up straight with the bar, leading with the shoulders. All right, and you'll go up and down 3 times. Good. Good. As you can tell, his chest stayed up the entire time. He sat down like a squat. He didn't just bend over and put the bar on the ground. And that's the deadlift. So the biggest thing that can happen with a deadlift in just general population is that the person picking up the bar might be a little too tall. Because if you examine the height of the bar, if you're a person over 6 foot tall, this is going to be a hard exercise for you to do. In order to prepare for that, you will want to stretch your hamstrings and increase your mobility. But instead of it being a squat, it might end up having to be more of a hip hinge for you as a person doing this deadlift. So Matthew, go ahead and stand up for me. Good. I want you to put the bar back down, and I want you to do more of a hip hinge or Romanian deadlift technique instead. So if you are a taller person and you are struggling to squat down to go to the bar, think more about bending the knees, pushing the butt straight back, and picking up the bar that way. It will end up becoming more of a hip, low back exercise, but for this particular test, I do recommend for taller people that aren't able to squat down and grab the bar safely to do more of a hip hinge and pick it up. Some other issues that we see with the deadlift is the rounding of the back. Can you demonstrate what that would look like for me? So this would be rounding of the back. All that is you're lifting with your back straight up and rounded versus just standing up with the bar. You want to make sure that your chest is up and you're standing straight up with the bar, okay? One last thing that I've seen a lot of is when, again, this is a mobility thing, is when people are pushed their knees too far past the bar or past their toes when they do this deadlift. So I don't know if you can demonstrate that, but try to do that one for me. So knees too far, and then they just try to stand up, and it gets a little unstable, and they're unable to lift it that well. You can relax. That's good. Those are the main ones that I see. So the biggest thing that you can do as somebody that's going to do this deadlift, and this is what I recommend, is relax the knees before you start, push your butt back, reach over, grab the handles, and then sink down and poke your chest up. So Matt, if you don't mind demonstrating what that would look like, just relax the knees, push the butt straight back, bend over, grab the bar, poke the chest up, and then lift. And that's it. So that's what I recommend. Just relax the knees, push the butt back, grab the bar, sink your butt down, poke your chest up, and once everything's nice and tight, stand up and repeat that 3 times. One of the alternative events for doing the deadlift, especially if your gym or your home doesn't have a hex bar, because those aren't as common as a lot of people think that they are, is you can simply just use dumbbells and weights or something to raise the dumbbells up off the ground, because as you can tell with a deadlift, the bar will be up higher than a dumbbell would sit off the ground. So you want to raise it up. Right now, I have 3 25-pound weights under each dumbbell. That's a good height for a trap bar. It's the same height as a hex bar for the most part. And if you sit the dumbbells up on it about shoulder width apart to where you can squat down the exact same way, you'll be perfectly fine. But most gyms have dumbbells and free weights that you can utilize to make this happen. And also, if you have a home gym, you can do the same thing. So the technique's the exact same. You squat down, grab the handles of the dumbbells, and stand up just like you would with a trap bar deadlift. And you just repeat that 3 times. If you don't have a weight that's heavy enough to equal what the hex bar deadlift would be, then just do more reps. That's going to be what's going to give you that extra intensity you need. Good, you can relax. Awesome. So the technique's still the same. Just push your butt back, stick your chest up, squat down, pick up the dumbbells. And that's just one alternative event that you can do if you don't have access to a hex bar or if you're unable to lift the weight of the hex bar. Another alternative event for the deadlift, if your gym doesn't have heavy enough dumbbells, or if your gym, again, doesn't have a hex bar, what you can do is if you do have access to 2 regular barbells, you can just put them against a wall or in a corner, depending on the rules of the facility you might be at. I recommend finding like a metal column or something that you can put 2 bars against, and simply just put one weight on one side like it is shown right now. What you're going to want to do is stand like Coach Matt's doing right now in front of those weights. As you squat down to pick up the weight, it's going to slide behind you. And this will allow you to move in that same range of motion as you would with the trap bar. It actually does help you, because of the angle, to get in that right technique. So doing this way will allow you to do more weight than you would with dumbbells, but then it will also help you train that correct movement pattern as well by doing it with this way. So again, you put 2 bars against the wall next to each other, squat down, pick them up, same way you would do a trap bar, okay? That's it. Thank you.
The second event is a standing power throw. So what we use to kind of express force is almost a mix of a vertical jump and a hip hinge. Those 2 movements combine within this one movement for this event. So what we're testing is your ability to be explosive off the ground. This can carry over to many things. Trying to help someone off of the ground, picking up a casualty, or maybe handing something heavy to another soldier overhead, maybe loading a truck, a lot of different things. The one thing about this event, unlike the others, this is so specific. The one way you were really going to get good at it is practicing the movement itself. So Adam's going to pick up the ball real quick. What I want him to focus on, and Adam, I want you to show me just a bad squat. Throw your knees over your toes. This is what I don't want to see. So what we can kind of get away from, go ahead and stand up. Instead of getting that heavy squat, I want him to actually learn to get his hips and reach them back so he loads his hamstring. That's where all the power is going to come from instead of a simple bad squat. So try and reach your hips back as far as you can. Doing this puts a lot of stiffness on the back of his leg, which generates power as we come back up. Go ahead and stand up for me. The minimum that you have to throw is around 4.5 meters. That's not far, trust me. It's going to seem far when you think about it, but when you actually throw, it's going to be quite easy if you can follow these steps to generate that power. So Adam, reach one more time for me. Come all the way down. As he comes up, I want you to go up slow. When you come up, I want you to extend at the ankles, the knees, and the hips, and just go through like a slow throw motion. So as he comes up, he's actually going to explode from the lower body up, almost akin to an Olympic movement like a power clean or a snatch. It's the exact same movement, now we just have a 10-pound ball. So go through one throw full speed for us. Gets his hips back, you go ahead and go at your own speed. As he comes through, he can actually extend. One thing that they've added, and this might all be updated later, is you can actually jump. The big thing is if there's a line where you are, try not to get too far away from the line. Get your heels right on it, and when you come through and you explode, either get on the toes. If you can jump off the ground, even better. The big thing is don't cross that line because then it counts as a fault. So do one more throw, load the hamstrings, then I want you to actually jump.
I didn't think about jumping.
No, that's fine. You got a big throw though, right? It's good. And you got that throw because you exploded off those toes. So whether you're going off the toes, good triple extension, ankles, knees, hips, or you're actually adding in a jump, it's going to help you on that release point. Another thing is, go ahead and pick up the ball one more time, Adam. So I think Adam mentioned this earlier today. When you go with your hold, try to actually get under that ball so it helps you on that backward motion and not so much on the sides. When you learn how to go fast with this, if your hands are slick and they're on the sides, they're not cupping, it'll slip out of your hands rather than release at the right spot. And actually hold the ball up one more time for me, Adam, just all the way to the top. So as Adam keeps the ball, depending on where he releases this ball determines where that ball is going to go. If Adam starts too soon, it's going to go straight up. If he releases it too far back, it's going to go straight down. So when you throw, try to find a sweet spot. Maybe that 45 degrees out. If you're a taller person, it could be a little farther out in front. It just depends on where your hands are to where that ball is going to go. And that's it for the standing power throw. For alternate exercises we can do to prepare for this. Again, I said it's so specific that throwing is one of the best things you can do, but there are ways to kind of build up to that. So one thing I want to kind of show, instead of always focusing on the squat, we'll get more force and more of a throwing distance if we learn how to hip hinge. So something you can do if you have a wall at home, imagine this stick is the wall, and Adam, just try and touch your butt to the wall. Try and keep your legs a little bit of bend as straight as you can, a little bit of bend in the knee, and then come right back up. Just do it 2 more times. I'm just going to talk it through. So the big thing is try not to bend too much. If we bend our knees too much, it's a squat. But as we kind of get our hips back, we make that hamstring nice and tight. Think about a rubber band. If we were to pull that nice and tight, and then we let it go. It's the same thing we're doing with our hamstring. We pull our hamstring nice and tight, just like the rubber band, build up power. When we release and we come up, we let the rubber band go, we release all of the power. Same exact example. The other alternate that I want you to try is a vertical jump. So this is going to teach you how to explode from the ankles all the way through the hips. Just show me a good vertical jump. Just extending as high as you can. Remember, the biggest thing is where you jump is where exactly you want to land. We don't want to jump backwards, right? We don't want to jump forwards because it's going to take away from the distance of the ball. Where we come up where our feet want to go right in the same exact spot. And then our third, whether you have a rock, a med ball, any implement at home that's 10 to 12 so pounds to throw. Go ahead and grab the ball one more time for me, Adam. It's just a granny toss. So it's another form of a throw. What Adam's going to do is just come down into a squat, balls between his legs, and he's just going to throw it up in the air as high as he can. But he's not going to focus on going behind him. This is just a practice before you get your release point to go behind you. And just go ahead and do a throw. Do a granny toss. There you go. And it's just a simple squat with a throw. Again, it's so specific, practicing the event is probably the best way to prepare for it.
Event number 3 is the hand release push-up. And with this, the purpose of this event is to test your muscular endurance for the upper body. And what it purposely does is simulates a combat scenario or a lifting scenario when you're in the field. So what I'm going to have to do is Tyson start on the ground in the prone position. Now the key for this is to keep your index fingers, the tip of your index fingers, inside the outer edges of your shoulders. And that's important because, again, we want to mock that pushing scenario. His back is straight, his feet are together. Now when the grader says go, he's going to extend his elbows, his back, pushing up in the push-up position. Go ahead and push up for me. Full extension at the elbows. And he's going to come right back down to a flex position so that he's fully on the ground. Now some key things that you want to look for on this hand release push-up is that his tip of his index fingers are inside of his shoulders, and that when he's pushing, he's in a nice straight line. Go ahead and push up for me. He's in a nice straight line from his shoulders to his toe. Now what I don't want to see, or what the graders don't want to see, is that his hips go up. We don't want this. Okay, we don't want his hips coming down. Okay, and then we also don't want him going side to side. Okay, so he doesn't keep his hands off. He's staying in one position, one testing position. Yep, just like that. So it's a nice continuous motion from a flexed to an extended position. Now some key things you want to focus on in this. When you're in that position, the down position here, get a nice deep breath in. So inhale in, keep that core nice and tight, so you have a nice stable spine. And then when you push out, you're exhaling coming up. So push, yep, there you go. And then nice coming right back down to the beginning. Now this is a time test, this is a 2-minute test. You want to try to get as many as you can, ideally up to 60 push-ups. When you're in the down position here, you're going to take your arms and release them to the side of your body. So go ahead and extend those arms all the way out, full locked out at the elbows. Okay, so don't keep them half in, you want full locked out, bringing them right back into where you started that position, hands on the ground, and then pushing back up. That's the hand release. So coming back down, extend those arms all the way to your side, bring them back in, exhale, push up. Good. 3 exercises you can do to prep for this event. 1 is at home, and then 2 you can do at the gym, or even if you have some at-home equipment, you can do them there as well. So the first at-home exercise that you can do is the 8-count push-up. So Tyson's going to start off in a standing position, nice extension. He's going to squat down, placing his hands on the ground, jumping back into a burpee, going down to a push-up, up, down, and then jumping forward and standing. So we're going to count that through. Go ahead and bring it down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jumping forward, 7, 8. 8-count push-up. Another alternative exercise you can do at home or at the gym is the barbell bench press. Barbell bench press is set up just like the way it is. Okay, I'm going to have Tyson place his hands on the bar at about a 9-degree position at the point of his elbows. His feet are on contact with the ground. Okay, and as soon as he's ready, what he's going to do is he's going to take the bar, bring it over top of his head, help him if you need to. Nice and slow, he's going to bring it down, touch his chest, and then exhale and push through. That same exercise can be done with kettlebells or dumbbells at home or at the gym. With the kettlebells, Tyson's going to start off extended in the position, bringing them down slowly, right to the outside of his chest. His elbow is about 45 degrees inside. He's going to exhale, push through, bring them together.
Event number 4, sprint, drag, carry. It actually has 5 events that you'll be involved in and not just 1, even though it's the 4th event. It includes sprinting, dragging, lateral movement, carrying dumbbells, and then sprinting again. Your distance will be 25 meters down and 25 meters back. Also, as you run, you will sprint and you will have to touch the ground with at least 1 foot going over the line and your hand touching on the sprint. When you are dragging, it must go down, all the way down and go across the far line and then back across the end line here. Make sure when you lateral, you are staying facing one side. Lateral will be sideways. When you get to the end, you must have at least 1 foot, one hand touch the ground and come back in the same facing position. And then you pick up your bells and you run down there with them. Again, all you have to do is cross the line with your foot at that time. At the end, you get to sprint 1 more time. Again, the 25 meters down, 25 meters back. This exercise is to help you with your agility, your muscle strength, and your muscle endurance. It will help you in so many ways coming into combat situation. When you start the sprint, your whole body must be behind the line. When you get up, you take off from down there. And again, you're going all the way. And sprint. Second event being the drag, also must be picked up outside the line and then start again. The whole thing must come across the line. Then the shuffle, lateral. Come back the same way. Come back the same way you're facing. You must face the same direction. All the kettlebells must come down across the line and then 1 more sprint. And that is how we finish the whole event 4. 2 ways at home to work on that is to take your backpack. All you do is you take your backpack, put it on your back, and all you want to do is do a squat. Just squat straight down. Hold that for about 45 seconds. Repeat it 3 times each time. And as you get better, increase your time. Also using your backpack, do what we call a knee drop, whereby just going down with the backpack on your back and kneeling down, picking it back up, rotating those legs. What it does, again, increases the strength in your legs because you're going to be pulling a lot of weight and you're going to be walking with a lot of weight, and will help it be better for the next event that's coming up. The other one is at a gym, any gym you go to, use the cable machine, grab it from the bottom of the floor and take it and walk back with it all the way to the end and walk back, leaning backwards, increasing that strength in your legs, because that's going to be a primary event on this, on event 4.
Event number 5 is the knee tuck, and the purpose of this event is to test your muscular strength and your endurance. What the test does is simulates navigating or climbing over obstacles. The individual is going to start by mounting onto the bar with an alternated grip position. It's recommended that your dominant hand is in the front. In a fully extended position, the grader is going to say go. He's going to flex his knees, trunk, and elbows towards the bar, making sure that he makes contact with his knees and his elbows, safely returning back down to an extended position. Some key things with this exercise is to make sure, again, that you're hitting your knees to your elbows, coming down to that fully extended position, and then making those repetitions. You're okay if you need to rest for a little bit. Go ahead and stop for a second. You're okay in this position. What you don't want to do, you don't want to let go of the bar at any time. You don't want your feet to touch the ground at any time. You can alternate your grip if you need to, so go ahead and switch your grip. An exercise you can do to train for this event is the half pull-up. So go ahead and get into the pull-up position. Now, fully extended, he's going to pull all the way up. Instead of coming all the way down to that fully extended position, I want him just to come halfway down and then pull right back up. Bring that down. Go ahead and drop down. An exercise that you can do to train for this event is a pull-up from the testing position. So same grip, you want an alternative grip, one hand in front of the other. He's going to just pull himself up and safely return right back down to that extended position. Go and drop down. Perfect. Another exercise you can do to prepare for this event is the inverted row. Using a Smith machine or a squat rack or any bar that you can keep stable, you're going to position yourself into a position where you're at an incline. Okay, nice straight back, keeping your core tight, legs slightly bent. The individual is going to pull himself to the bar, bring it right back down nice and slow. Some key things you want to focus on is keeping straight. You don't want your hips coming up or dropping your hips too far down. And then again, safely returning to that extended position. Awesome. Another exercise that you can do to prepare for this event is the reverse crunch. The reverse crunch is putting pressure in your core as well as your hips. So starting in the flat position, you're going to keep your legs straight out, grab onto a bar, and then bringing those knees, flex those knees towards your trunk, bring it all the way back. Good. And awesome.
So we're almost done. Just have one more event, the 2-mile run. So you'll have a few minutes after you finish the knee tuck to prepare for the run event. So do a few things before you take the run. Stretch a little bit, relax a little bit, get some fluid, some water, get ready to run. Try to relax. Retie your shoes maybe, jog for a minute or two, but remain close to the start line. But how'd you get here? To prepare for the 2-mile event, you need to spend a few months in preparation. We recommend you getting ready for a 4 to 6 month period. We recommend running 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 5 miles a day. This is a gradual process, and we can assist you with a plan to develop a dynamic workup. This is a gradual process, and we can assist you with a plan to develop a dynamic warm-up and overall run program to help you reach your goals. The plan will include easy days, hard workout days, recovery runs, hill repeats, ins and outs, and fartleks. The key to success is consistency. Start preparing now. Well, there you have it. A large amount of data and opportunities for helping you, your soldiers, your unit prepare for the ACFT. The record ACFT event starts October of 2020. We're available to help you succeed. We offer a free app called Train Heroic. Contact one of the many coaches around the state for more information on the app and how you can use it. Thanks for watching, and go guard.